So I have kind of an interesting turn of events with my Tudor Black Bay 925. I posted that video a while back. It kind of blew up, to be honest, about the situation that kind of happened with me with my Black Bay 925. It's already had over 40,000 views and tons of comments. And, I would say mostly people appreciative about me sharing, what happened with my situation and just being honest and like what happened with reality. A lot of support, a lot of negativity of you're a loser and you didn't demand a refund, and how did you let this happen? It's all your fault. It's all your AD's fault. Whatever. People are going to be people. So anyway, it's kind of been interesting answering questions and responding to comments and this and that, but you know it was interesting to see the kind of significant, I would say, sort of viral for my kind of small channel. But anyway, something really good came out of it. You can see this Tudor bag back here. Basically, it seems that video that I posted actually got the attention of like Tudor USA corporate or something. I'm sure some social media person there saw it, and they reached out to the AD who I bought it from, and they got in contact with me. I spoke to them on the phone and spoke with the AD, and basically they recognized things had gone wrong with both Tudor, like the company, and them supplying the defective watch and their service doing a poor job on replacing / repairing. I'm not really sure what they did, but as you recall in that video, they damaged the replacement watch as far as the bezel was dinged up, and that was after waiting 6 months, and it was just a whole hassle. Go watch the other video if you haven't seen it. They realized that was a mistake and they wanted to fix it, and they did, and I'm very grateful for it, to be honest. I was really upset because, and like I mentioned in this video, in the last video, I was a big fan of Tudor. Like I had bought the North Flag and I loved that watch. I wanted to be, a continued customer. They actually had asked the AD I bought it from. I'd actually asked to be put on a list to take a look at the Black Bay Chrono. I wanted the white dial one. I wanted to see it. I had planned to buy more, and this was technically my second Tudor, which it sort of turned into a third because I mentioned that Heritage Ranger in between. So I have the North Flag, which was my original Tudor, and then this Black Bay 925, and then I got the Heritage Ranger while this was gone, and now I have this one back, and I'm feeling a lot better about the brand and the company. It's still frustrating what happened, but the fact that they came clean. Interestingly enough, only when I made that video, but maybe if I run into another issue, I got the I guess the manager of the AD, he gave me his personal card, and wanted to make sure that I contact him if I run into any issues with this. Hopefully I don't, but I feel like they do want to make things right, and that's awesome. So what ended up happening today was I went back after communicating with them, and I got a new watch, a new box. Open this up here, and I got a new Black Bay 925. Get this up close to the camera. But you'll notice something different. This is the NATO strap version, and this is actually what I wanted. So when I had gone in there originally last year, I said I was very interested in purchasing the 925, and I understood there's a waiting list. Obviously, it was a brand new watch. They didn't even have any yet. And I said I wanted the NATO because I was, I liked the NATO. And when they called me, they said they had a leather strap one. I'm like, well, a leather strap's great too. I was really just hyped about the watch, so I went with it. And it's nice. It's a really nice leather strap. It's a nice kind of toned brown. If you go back watch that video, nothing was ever wrong with the strap. But the NATO is really what I wanted. So when I had spoken with Tudor on the phone, their customer service person out in New York, I believe, I said, if you're gonna replace the watch, which is excellent, this will make things right for me. If it makes it, if there's no difference because you're gonna get a new watch anyway, I'd prefer to get the one on the NATO. It's the same watch itself. It's just instead of the leather strap, it's a NATO strap. But I had that NATO on the Heritage Ranger, the green kind of olive camo one, and I love that. And I even bought off eBay. Somebody was selling like whatever, I think it was the Black Bay 36 came with it, or as an accessory, but it was a gray camo NATO, and I actually was running that when I got after I got the damaged Tudor back, and was kind of frustrated with it. To try to make it, a little bit better, I put that strap on it because that had been the plan when I would get it back from service, after the 6 months, that I would put that strap on. I bought that strap while it was still gone, and it was a little bit too narrow. I don't know, I forget if this watch is the space between the lugs is a 19 or 20 millimeter. I think it's 20 millimeter. And I think that strap was a 19, so it's a little bit too narrow, something like that. It's off. It was off by like a millimeter or so. Oh, by the way, I'm drinking Redwood Empire. Picked this up at Costco today. It's from Sonoma County, where my wife's from, in California. It's interesting. I got it mostly because of the price. Costco had it drastically cheaper than Total Wine, so I figured I'd take a gamble. It's tasty stuff. But yeah, so I got the watch. Very, very pleased that they fixed the situation. I'm feeling much better about Tudor and that AD, and speaking with the manager of that store, got a much better feel that they'll take care of me if I run into issues with this, or go back and purchase another Tudor or something. And I think, assuming this watch, we both actually inspected it, me and the manager of the store, very carefully, and looked it over. I was paying extra special care to look at the bezel, because that's where the marring rather was on it. No issues. Looks pristine. It didn't have the stickers on it, I think, but it looks like a brand new watch. So they have to peel those off anyway. So it looked perfect. So got that watch. He sized it for me, even because the way the NATO comes from the factory, it's like I don't know, it's for like a really small wrist. It's weird. I don't have a huge wrist. I have like I think a 7.25 inch kind of normal wrist, but I think they had it for like someone with like a 5.5 wrist or something tiny. So he had to make a couple adjustments. So he took the time to adjust the NATO strap to kind of have it so the buckle is in the middle of there's 5 holes, I think, in the NATO strap. Is right in the middle. And got that squared away. And Tudor even, I think he said Adam was the name of I don't know if it's a VP or someone at Tudor. They gave me this. They had sent this to the AD. They had told me it's coming in. And they wanted me to wait till this got there and then come in and get the watch and get this. But it's really neat. I have to take a look at this, but this is an umbrella, obviously. A Tudor branded umbrella would be kind of neat. Rain's kind of over in California, but definitely get some use out of this next fall. And then, I don't know, my daughter may have already claimed it, though. She said she really wanted the umbrella. And then a couple Tudor hats, black and a gray. And my son already wants the black hat, but that's cool. He can have it. And what else? There's this fancy water bottle, a Clima bottle, whatever that is. Stainless steel bottle. It's not focusing. Tudor branded as well, obviously. Got that. And then this is really cool. This is really neat. So it's a Tudor keychain, but check this out. It's the snowflake hour hand. So that's pretty neat. Definitely enjoy that. I think that's pretty neat. But this was nice of them. This was a nice gesture. I have a bunch of Tudor swag now. I appreciate them, recognizing that they didn't do their best in this situation. With the whatever, I never found out what was wrong with the movement. But obviously, when the service center got it, they had confirmed something was wrong. So the movement having an issue out of the get-go, and then the parts not being available, I think is what they were saying, and the supply chain and everything. So the 6 months wait, which is kind of extreme, but if they had gotten it right, I think, like if I'd gotten it back after 6 months, it was perfect. I would have been upset and kind of just felt like the whole situation had gone sideways. But that happened. But it seems like, they are doing their best to make things right, and I do appreciate that. So it's kind of a follow-up, video to that last video. I'm gonna link this on the other one so people see what happened. It's been months since I posted that, I believe. But yeah, I'm grateful. It was a real sore spot, as I had mentioned. I kind of had felt like I was not only burned by the brand, but it kind of soured the whole experience of buying, like a luxury timepiece. This was my first big purchase, and I guess I did buy that North Flag, but that was gray market, so it's kind of like you're just buying it, and you kind of feel dirty buying gray market. But I couldn't find one at the time. So this was the first time I had gone through the experience of buying, a luxury timepiece from an AD and going through that whole process. And for the whole thing to have gone sideways, kind of, I think I mentioned this in my other video that, I was questioning, do I even want to buy another luxury watch? Because it just, the whole, experience had been really sour. And it was a kind of a bumpy ride, but we were actually talking about this at the AD today, that, it's a story. So hopefully this watch, the replacement has no issues and it runs well and I don't have any problems with it. And, it's something that I have for my life and pass down to my son at some point. And at that point it will, have patinaed, and with the this is a sterling silver case, it's gonna, definitely have some oxidation and tarnishing, and have its little beauty marks of little blemishes that I did myself, but it'll always obviously have that story too. So that's kind of an interesting thought. There's like there'll be a story behind this watch of what happened the first time, but hopefully it's positive going forward. So I do appreciate the AD, and appreciate the AD and Tudor kind of stepping up and recognizing the mistake and doing their due diligence to fix this, and I feel better about it. And I don't think I'm not kind of eliminate the brand, because I did like some of the watches, and I remember being really frustrated by my experience, and then seeing that new what is it called, the Pelagos FXD, or fixed, I think some people call it. It's a really neat dive watch. And I remember being kind of hyped about it, and then this whole situation happened, and it was just like, man, when I got the second one and it was all messed up, I was just like, I don't know if I can be into this anymore. So maybe I'll be down the road, looking at visiting the AD again, and putting my name on a list for that. It's gonna be hard to get that watch, I'm sure. It seems to be very popular, but I would be potentially interested in that one. So I don't think I'm done with the brand like I was, because they fixed my concerns and solved the problem, and I think they'll take care of me if I do run into a problem. I really hope, fingers crossed, this movement is okay. And this one, they've had, it's been over, what, I bought it in May of 21, so we're almost a year out from when that watch was released. So hopefully they figured out the bugs with the move, whatever. I don't know what it was. I never found out what the problem with the movement was, but hopefully they figured that out, and this one doesn't have that same issue, and I'm problem free with it. So yeah, that's kind of it. Feeling good about this. It was really sour experience uh, after the 6 months, and then getting home and being all happy that it was over with, and I got my watch back, and I could kind of be excited about it again, enjoy it, only for the whole thing to get flipped upside down and realizing it's damaged, and then not wanting to go back again and have be without the watch for a year. And now instead they fixed it, brand new watch, the warranty, I got a new warranty card with it, they all match up, the warranty started over, so all that time and service and being upset, I don't, like, that's not lost. Originally it was like lost, because that was part of the warranty period. So I'm kind of like a clean slate. So I'm pretty pleased, and I'm excited to get this watch back on the wrist and wear it, and hopefully wear it with some pride. So figured I'd share that with you guys, kind of circle it back to this kind of little drama of my last video. I honestly did not expect the video to kind of, for my channel, to blow up like that, but actually it worked out in my favor, because I guess it got on their radar, and they realized the the mistake and fixed it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll throw the 925 on and kind of pull it up to the camera here in a moment. All right, so here it is. Just put it on the wrist. It's kind of a horrible angle. You can see the NATO. I really love this NATO. That stripe is really cool. Such a beautiful watch. It's just the experience I wanted. It's kind of interesting is what I had noticed with the last one, when I wound the movement like manually, I just set the time because it was running when I picked it up, but it wasn't set right. So I set the time and was just winding it a few times, and it's really smooth. And I mentioned this in another video. The original one, it felt strange when I wound it. It just was kind of like, I don't know, like there was resistance or some kind of graveliness, but not this one. It's really smooth. Has the lovely clicks. Let's listen to this. The bezel. That's so nice. Honestly, it's like the nicest clicking bezel of any watch I've ever used the bezel on like that. I even have my father's old Rolex Submariner. It doesn't. I mean, it's like an '80s Submariner, but it's not like that. It's just such a sharp. It's like a sharp click. But yeah, look at that, man. Gorgeous. Gotta not let my face get in focus here. So, yeah, I'm happy. The situation's been fixed, and I'm looking forward to wearing this. And you know, I won't look at it anymore and like be upset, because that was when I was wearing it. I would look at it and I would see the all the marring on this, and it just made me upset, and it like soured the whole experience. So I don't have that issue anymore, and I have a brand new watch, brand new warranty, and I have the NATO that I wanted, and I love it. I love these NATOs that Tudor makes. Are incredible. So yeah, story ended up with a good ending. So figured I need to share that with you guys. Take it easy.